This episode is brought to you by Jira. Jira is the only project management tool you need to plan and track work across any team. So if you're a team of developers, Jira better connects you with teams like marketing and design, so you have all the information you need in one place. Plus, their AI helps you knock out the small stuff so you can focus on delivering your best work. Get started on your next big idea today in Jira.
This is Optimal Work Daily. You're probably underusing your content. Here's what to do instead, by Erin Blaskie of erinblaskie.com. Some of my favorite moments from when I ran my own digital marketing consulting company were chatting through my clients' digital strategies and planning out what we hope to achieve in the following month. These conversations got me amped up and ready to hit the ground running. One of the pieces that I focused on with many of my clients was creating and repurposing content for blogs and social channels. It was surprising just how many businesses create something once, send it out on social a few times, perhaps drop an email to their list about it, but soon that piece of content, be it blog post, ebook, etc., is left to gather dust on the digital shelf. If you're guilty of doing this too, I have a few solutions for you. 1. Use and reuse a repurpose strategy. If you've been in business for any length of time and have been writing blog posts, Facebook status updates, recording video or audio, and writing and producing information products, chances are high that you are sitting on a content goldmine. The sad reality is that most people underuse their content immensely. They spend all of their time and money when investing in support on creating new, but they forget that their old stuff is just as great and hasn't been seen by the majority of people. When working with my clients, I helped them leverage the content they had so that they could maximize their efforts and spend as little as possible on content creation and sharing. There's a mind map in this post that outlines some of the things that I did with clients when working with their content. The truth is, it's just a small fraction of how you can reuse content, but when you realize the potential that exists in the content you already have, I promise you that you won't go back to creating an enormous amount of new content all the time. Plus, if you've struggled with what to put on social media, this will help you populate your accounts there too. 2. Create a social media content database. Speaking of social media, many of my clients begin their work with me with empty social accounts. When I ask why that is, the response is often, "I just don't have enough time to create that much content." Most of the clients I worked with believed that every network, every content location, like blogs, newsletters, YouTube, etc., needs fresh content all the time. While creating new content is something you want to work into your weekly plan, leveraging what you've got can also be part of that, and it can fill in the gaps when you just don't have time to write something new. What we did for our clients, and something you can easily do for yourself, is set up a social media content database. Usually this is a Google Doc, and we pull social media updates from all existing content and add it to the Google Doc, sorted into helpful categories. Then, when we're ready to populate the social channels, we use a tool like Hootsuite to copy and paste the content into. It works wonders to fill in the gaps when needed. The best part about this is that social media moves really fast. If you run through your entire database and it takes 3 to 6 months to use up all the content, it's not a big deal to start over again, as people likely didn't see it the first time, and if they did, it's been quite some time and they probably won't remember it. 3. Leverage the from the archives strategy. Further to what we were discussing in the first 2 tips, leverage the from the archives strategy to keep your social media networks populated. Your audience doesn't expect you to keep them on the edge of their seat all the time with fresh new content. They just want to see your material in whatever format you've got it in. When I worked with Danielle Laporte, one of the things we did weekly was pull a from the archives post to highlight an older post that was still relevant and juicy. This allowed our new audience members to see the old content, even if they missed it, and longtime audience members a chance to go over it again. Old content often holds new lessons for people, so don't be afraid to reuse it. The best way to freshen up old content is to create a new graphic for it using a tool like Canva. This will allow you to put a new look on it and catch your audience's attention in a unique way. To close out, don't be afraid to reuse and repurpose your old content. It's there, you've done the work for it already, and you should leverage it to see the most reward. You just listened to the post titled, "You're Probably Underusing Your Content. Here's What to Do Instead," by Erin Blaskie of erinblaskie.com. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We're all marveled at how quickly kids learn and that sense of wonderment they have while doing it. But as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. Well, if there's something you've been wanting to learn, know that therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder, because your back-to-school era can come at any age. And make no mistake, therapy is for everyone. Whether or not you've been through significant trauma, therapy can be a great tool for setting boundaries, learning new skills, and ultimately becoming the best version of yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/workdaily today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/workdaily. We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out those incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster, and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/startup. So just go to Indeed.com/startup right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And I want to give a big thanks to Erin for letting us share her work today. She is leading marketing at Fellow.app. That's a productivity tool for managers. And she curates productivity content on Dig's productivity namespace as well. For the past 20 years, she's been invited to speak on stages around the world, including TEDx, and now more recently, virtual conferences. She covers marketing, community, and remote work. You can also check out her book, Destiny, a love story about a video game, marketing, and storytelling. And she loves video games. She became obsessed with them once she got her hands on a Commodore 64. So come by erinblaskie.com for a lot more, and I have that linked in this episode's description. And thanks again to Erin for letting us share her work. I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to the show, and have a great rest of your day. I will see you back here tomorrow. That's where your optimal life awaits.